Hiya. This is part two, I believe. I'm not sure. Part two of this epic repair here on the Teac A-3340s 4-track recorder. These are really well made, but the service diagram that you can download for these leaves a lot to be desired. It's very difficult to read, and they're a little bit difficult to work on as well. I had a major problem with this, a couple of quite major problems. First problem was with this head block here. These switches weren't working properly, were thumping, and all sorts of funny things were going on. And I took the block off and I found that somebody had repaired this side of the block there. There's a great big hole in it and tracks split and everything. They tried to repair it with a piece of plastic over the hole, so I made a special plate up for that. I got a washer, managed to get it between two switches there, and I soldered it to the switch bodies and then put a washer and the screw in there, and that's perfect job. That's a good stable job, and all the switches are working now. I've repaired all of that lot. So apart from that, it was quite dirty. It needed a full service on it. And also I found out that these nabs aren't correct. These are Akai nab adapters, and they don't actually fit this because as you can see, I've had to put tape there. These, when you untwist them to secure this nab in, they don't come out far enough because this nab is too thick. So I had that problem there, and it was misfeeding tape and everything. It's extremely dirty, the transport on this, so I did all of that. Anyway, I took the bottom cover off, laid it on its side with these reels hanging over the bench there, and I adjusted everything. But I couldn't get anything from this channel at all. I adjusted all the other channels. All the other channels were really out. Every parameter was out. I think someone had been in there twiddling around with everything, trying to get this channel to work again, but didn't. So I had to do everything. And then I thought, well, there's definitely a problem with this channel. When you put an input in, this was working fine. I adjusted the level so it's working at within spec. But then you went to record something. When you flicked it to tape, that you couldn't hear anything on this side at all. I tried everything. I also had a tape, 2-track tape. This is a 2-track tape, and I played it normally, so these tracks were playing, and then I turned the tape over so I could play it on these 2 tracks. This track was always playing anyway, because 2-track, you're going to get a bit of feedback through here anyway, but no output at all from there. So I thought, okay, so it's not playing back, it's not recording. I wasn't sure at this stage what was going on, so I took the board out, responsible for this, the record board, and I scoped it, and I could see the signal coming into the board. I could see it leaving the board. The bias signal was there, because obviously the signal which comes from the head is very small signal, and you have to follow it through the circuit. There's a lot of trimmers to adjust till you get the signal is amplified through here, and then it's joined with a very big biasing frequency, and the signal is superimposed on top of the bias signal. And because you need a bias signal to agitate the tape modules to molecules to actually record onto the tape. So anyway, all that seemed to be all right. Everything was okay there. I checked for dry joints, checked everything, had the boards out. Nothing wrong. So I thought, well, there's something funny going on here. So since it wasn't playing back, I thought, okay, it's the playhead. So I whipped all this off, and I found a broken track going to one of the lines, one of the tracks on the playhead, and that's what the problem was. So I restored the track, and then I had to calibrate it again. So this has taken me hours, literally hours, to sort out. I'm only charging the customer a fraction of the cost because he's a very good customer. He's the customer that has given me all work so far, pretty much. The turntable, the other Revox tape deck that I had in. He's a very good customer, so I'm going to charge him a fraction of the time I spent on it. But these are quite difficult jobs, even to set this up. If it's well out, someone's been mucking about and it's well out, even to set it up, it's not that straightforward, particularly as you have 4 boards in the bottom here and then 4 boards on the top. The top boards represent these 2 channels, and the bottom these 2 channels. So if you have something in the bottom out, it's not so bad, but the top, yeah, you've got to undo a load of screws and that. So yeah, not that easy to repair. And I think to set one of these up properly, service it, demagnetize the heads and everything, is quite a job in itself. But there we go, it's done. So I'm not going to play anything. I did do a video for the customer, but the problem is when I play something and it's not license free, I get flagged on my channel, and you know, because of that reason, I'm hardly getting any hours of viewings on these. I have got some music which is license free, but anyway, you probably will be able to hear on another channel what these sound like. They're all right. They're not as good as a Revox B77, and they're definitely not as good as the last deck I did from the customers, which is a Technics. That Technics was quite surprisingly good, actually. But you know, they got a sort of a dark sound. They're not very bright. Even when you tweak the EQ settings on there, they're not that bright. But you know, they're all right. They're all right. They're extremely well built. They're like tanks, really. So I do recommend these, but you're not going to get a bright modern sound with these because the technology is too old really on these. So if you want a sort of a brighter, more high frequency orientated sound, you need to probably get a newer Tascam. Fostex got good high end. Revox are pretty good. The B77s got a good high end, but they can sound a bit thin. The A77s sound warmer, but yeah. And to complicate this is a 100-volt version from Japan, and the client bought a transformer for me to fit in from eBay, and unfortunately the person who sold it cut the harness completely and completely destroyed it. It would have, let's see. All right. Just get it in. There we go. This is a transformer he bought. It's a bit rusty, in a sorry state, but if you look at this here, see, he literally just cut it out of the machine, and all of these wires as well. And look at that. This is the selector, 240, 220, etc. All of these wires are too short. So if I'd have converted this to 240, I would have had to amend all of these wires or solder all these wires. I mean, I don't really know whether this properly works. So because that is a mammoth job in itself, and I knew that I had problems with this as well, I decided to just use a step-down transformer. So I bought a step-down transformer, and I'm going to give it to the guy, cheap price. So it's probably better than you know, all the work involved in fitting that. But for myself, for testing purposes, I bought a Variac. So here we go, really nice Variac. I've had to, it's an open Variac, so I mounted it with screws, and I've got a panel there, and I'm waiting for proper lugs for here, but that is really good, and it does the job well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe and like the video. Thank you.